Friends, I wanted to come on today and share with you a vision that I had in January of 2021. Our country was in trouble. Our country's still in trouble. But during that time, as I said, January 2021, there were some terrible things going on in our country. And I was very concerned. And I had cried out to the Lord repeatedly. I was really pestering him about, things that needed to happen in our country and what was going on, and I needed comfort. And so one morning during prayer, as I finished prayer, I got up to go about the day's business, and I was stopped in my tracks by a vision. The vision opened up. I saw the Father, and a little girl was tugging on his clothing. And he turned to her, and his face that was very concerned, looking out at what he was looking at, when he turned to her, his face got very tender. And he looked at her, and he put his hand on her back and her shoulder and turned her around and pointed to a door and talked to her very, very kindly and sweetly and said, to go back into the room of obedient children. And so that little girl was me. And I started towards the room, and I looked in there, and I saw people doing what they should be doing. They were trying to do good for others, even in some parts of our government. They were trying to do what was good for others, and others, were not. But the people that were in the room of obedient children were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They did their jobs. They did just good things and tried to make the world a better place. And so as I'm stepping into the door, I turn to look at the Father one more time, and I see as he's turning back towards the disobedient children, those who he is trying to coax and woo into trying to do what is right. And that's, what the Father wants. And so as he's dealing with them, I see that his patience is wearing thin. And so I'm still, okay, I'm going to go in this room, but I knew that I did not want to be in the place of where his wrath is going to be poured out. And that's going to be on the children that are disobedient. A good father will discipline the children. And if they still want to be rebellious and not do those things which are right, then there's going to be issues. And so I learned from that, and I'm still in the room of obedient children. There's a lot more good things happening nowadays here in 2025, but there's still, a ways to go, but we still need to be obedient, get up every day, and do what we know the Lord wants us to do. If it's run for an office or do anything, that pray and read your Bible, of course, and live your life. But do it from the position of being in the room of obedient children. Be blessed, my friends.